Alright, folks, fasten your seatbelts because we're about to embark on a wild journey into the tangled web of The Wives by Tarryn Fisher. Get ready for a roller coaster ride of missed opportunities and mounting disappointment as we unpack this psychological thriller that's more like a flimsy house of cards than a gripping narrative. The Wives introduces us to Thursday, an ordinary woman trapped in an extraordinary situation, a polygamous relationship with her husband, Seth, who has 2 other wives. The premise promises a tantalizing exploration of jealousy, secrets, and psychological turmoil. But alas, what begins as a gripping concept soon unravels into a labyrinth of confusion and implausibility. Let's start with our leading lady, Thursday. She's about as relatable as a piece of abstract art. You try to understand it, but it's just a bunch of colorful lines and shapes. Despite the intriguing setup of being one of 3 wives, Thursday lacks depth and fails to evoke any genuine sympathy or interest. Her decisions are questionable at best, and her motives remain as mysterious as a magician's trick. Now, let's talk about the supporting cast. The other wives, Hannah and Regina, are as one-dimensional as a cardboard cutout. They're reduced to mere plot devices, and we're left wondering if they're actual characters or just filler material. The Wives is like a wild goose chase that never reaches its destination. Fisher dangles the carrot of suspense and twists, but the carrots turn out to be rubber and the twists leave us scratching our heads in disbelief. Instead of a tightly woven plot, we get a jumble of loose ends and unresolved threads. The narrative tries to be clever with its shocking revelations, but they're more like a magician pulling rabbits out of an empty hat. The more twists that come, the more we find ourselves detached and indifferent. It's like the authors are saying, "Ta-da! Surprise!" But we're left wondering if they ever had a coherent plan in the first place. Fisher's writing aims for profound, but it falls flat like a failed belly flop. The attempts at depth and introspection come across as pretentious, and the narrative feels like an endless inner monologue that goes nowhere. The metaphorical language is more confusing than illuminating, and we're left feeling like we're trying to decipher a foreign language without a dictionary. In the end, The Wives is a house of cards built on empty promises. It entices us with the premise of polygamy and psychological exploration, but it crumbles under the weight of its own shortcomings. The characters lack depth and fail to make us care, the plot twists are more frustrating than surprising, and the writing tries too hard to be profound. So, my fellow readers, save yourselves the disappointment and invest your precious reading time elsewhere. The Wives might have tried to be a thrilling psychological thriller, but it ends up being more of a lackluster soap opera. Trust me, there are better books out there that will actually keep you on the edge of your seat. In a nutshell, The Wives is a forgettable and frustrating experience that fails to deliver on its intriguing premise. It's like trying to find meaning in a nonsensical puzzle. You might try to piece it together, but ultimately, you're left feeling unsatisfied and wishing you'd spent your time on something more fulfilling.